I just got asked about a wild matchup between Gojo and Sukuna, so let's talk about it, but spoilers beware. All right, shout out to Marquez who asked me about this, but he wants to know who wins. Han era Sukuna with all of his abilities and his curse tools, plus Rika and plus Maharaga, or Gojo with all of his abilities, but plus Idol Transfiguration, Cursed Spirit Manipulation, Star Rage, Idle Death Gamble, and the Inverted Spear of Heaven. Who would win? Okay, so this is crazy, right? We're basically giving both of them everything and a bag of chips and throwing them at each other and seeing what happens. And chaos is what happens, I think, first and foremost. But honestly, the more I sat here and thought about this, the more I thought that it really doesn't make much of a meaningful difference, I don't think, because it's Gojo and Sukuna we're talking about. Neither of them need anything added to their bag to really change much, right? Because they can already do it all. Now, obviously, Maharaga and specifically the adaptation to the Limitless was pivotal in their fight, and that's not for nothing, but we're not going to get into the whole Sukuna without the 10 Shadows versus Gojo. We've talked about it at length. But the point is, aside from Maharaga on Sukuna's side, and maybe Idol Transfiguration on Gojo's side, I think everything else is just fluff because of their domain expansions. You know what I mean? Like, even if Gojo has an entire army of disaster curses from Cursed Spirit Manipulation, one Malevolent Shrine, they're all gone. And just like Rika is formidable and a powerhouse, she's kind of meaningless to Gojo, right? Unlimited Void, she's out of the fight. Maybe not permanently, maybe that doesn't just completely destroy her, but it trivializes her in this context, right? Then boom, Hollow Purple, bye bye Rika. At least presumably, right? So I just don't know if all of the extra tools and gadgets make a difference. But Idol Transfiguration, I think, is the most interesting one because we know that Gojo put the hands on Sukuna, right? He was destroying him in the hand-to-hand combat. Now, this would be true form Sukuna, which I do think makes a difference there. But that aside for now, if Gojo got to get a meaningful number of Idol Transfiguration applications off on Sukuna, then that seems to be another win condition for him, right? Now, we know that Idol Transfiguration can at least be somewhat defended against with Cursed Energy, especially if you know the shape of your own soul, which Sukuna does. So I think it would be very hard for Gojo to get meaningful Idol Transfigurations off on Sukuna. It wouldn't just be like a he touches him once and it's over type of thing, but it would be another win condition. But I just don't think Gojo was lacking in win conditions against Sukuna. Obviously, if he could just idly transform Maharaga and completely nullify him off the gate, then that helps a lot. So again, because of the domain expansions, I think a lot of those extra things are trivial, but I think I would give the edge to Gojo because of Idol Transfiguration. And then, assuming the way this works is that Gojo is essentially jackpotted throughout the entire fight while he's using his other curse techniques, that obviously helps him a lot more than, say, Rika would help Sukuna, in my opinion. So, yeah, I would give the edge to Gojo, but I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this.